the Engwe Engine Pro version 1, and now we've got the Engwe Engine Pro version 2. Visually they both look very similar, but is the Engine Pro version 2 really worth the upgrade? Let's find out. Having watched several technical views comparing the Pro 1 to the Pro 2, it still didn't get my creative juices flowing, but I strongly recommend you watch those videos if you want to find out the more technical details about these two bikes. But this video really is a practical in the dirt review. I know that rebranding an earlier product can be an uphill struggle. You need to give your customers a valid reason to purchase or even upgrade. And when I spoke to Engwe about my concerns, well, their reply was, just go out there and ride it. We'll be riding this bike in just a few minutes, but first of all, I want to address something really important. Let's compare torque to speed. The Pro 1's got a throttle speed of 30 miles an hour and 55 Newton meters of torque. And the Pro 2 has got a throttle speed of 20 miles an hour, but it's got 75 Newton meters of torque. And I think this is where the sauce is going to get hotter. Powering all this is a 52 volt 16 amp hour battery, whereas the Pro 1 has got a 48 volt battery, and the motor in the Pro 2 is a 750 watt peaking at 1200 watts. So what is the actual difference between torque and speed without getting too technical? Well, torque is the low down grunt, speed is the actual top end. So in layman's terms, speed's going to get you into the mud, torque's going to get you out. The Pro 1 has a cadence sensor and the Pro 2 has a torque sensor. Now apparently this torque sensor offers a totally different style of riding. Let's find out. I've got the perfect e-bike testing ground. I've got the long stony track, which is a long uphill climb where it tests the endurance of the motor. This behind me is what I call grassy bank. It don't look very steep on camera, I know, but it's a real challenge if you had a normal mountain bike that wasn't electronically assisted. And this is a great initial test for any e-bike. Now this one here is what we call the Devil's Waterfall. It's a short blast up a really steep hill, and at the top there's a muddy track. Not many e-bikes do this, especially in a sat down riding position. Now this bank behind me is what I call Jacob's Ladder. So far no e-bikes made this climb in the sat down riding position. So if you think you've got an e-bike that could take on this challenge, give me a call. You probably remember this place from the Engwe P275 Pro where I was testing the automatic gearbox. I don't think the camera does the gradient of the hills any favours at all, but trust me, they're quite steep and you'd really struggle to get up them with a conventional geared mountain bike. So this hill is a long sloping hill, and it's also got that steep grassy bank on the right hand side. I wonder how it does on that. So I'm going to be using Pedal Assist 5 and just seeing what gear it's the most comfortable with. One little tip I want to give you: if you buy one of these Engwes, pay the extra money and get one of these fantastic bags. It's absolutely brilliant. So here we go, let's get started. I'm using Pedal Assist 5. Doesn't really matter what gear I'm in because I'm going to be using the throttle to get myself going. It looks like I'm in 5th or 6th gear there. So let's go. Like I say, I've been told this bike is a bit of a climber, so let's put it to the test. So I'm on the pedal now, 6th gear, 7th gear, 8th gear, and I'm pedaling up this mild incline, like, well, it's not even there, and I can see Vic. Morning, Vic. We are absolutely flying, but I'm putting in no effort at all. Sat down, pedaling all the way. Oh, this is unbelievable. So if I clutch the throttle now, it takes it from 20 miles an hour. So the throttle cuts out at 20 miles an hour, and then you can use the pedal assist to go even faster. Okay, so that was sitting at 20. Let's give it some pedals. 8th gear. And we're flying. Absolutely brilliant. I'm loving this bike. Here's that bank, so I'm just going to go down 5th gear, I think. Here we go, straight into it. Sat down, no problem at all. Look at that. Let's try throttle. Look, it's throttling. Amazing. Well, that's it. The Engwe Engine Pro version 2 has smoked another hill without any problems at all. This is a keeper. I think the reason why Engwe have got the throttle cutting out at 20 miles an hour and then you can take over with the pedal assist, I think it's because it's just to make the motor last longer. Whereas if you were tearing around on the throttle all the time, I think your life of your motor would be greatly shortened. So I guess that's why they've done it. And also, this is known as a class 3 bike. It's got a torque sensor rather than a cadence sensor. Now, the difference between the torque sensor and a cadence sensor is the torque sensor gives back what you put in pedaling, whereas the cadence sensor, as soon as it senses motion, it just lets rip with the motor. So there's no real feeling or control on it. And that's why you hear people talking about ghost pedaling. It's where the cadence sensor is flat out and the pedals have got literally no traction. You're just going through the motions. So this might give you a better idea of how steep this hill is. You'd have a job to walk up it without getting out of breath. I think Mrs. Blackwell's put her name down for this one. I might give her the other one, to be fair with you, because this torque sensor is giving a much nicer riding experience. I mean, I'm flying up these banks in 8th gear, 20.8 miles an hour on the speedo. Just laughing at it, just laughing at it. And that's it, no time at all. Now I've got a hill coming up on the left, which so far no e-bike's made. Let's give that a test. Here we go. Look at that, like it stood still. Absolutely blitzed it. I've done that in about 3rd gear, I think. So I'm in 5th gear now. Just cruising. Let's try the throttle. Ha! Still pulling on the throttle. So they're right, this 75 Newton meters has made a big difference. 4th gear, up that hill with pedal assist 5, it breezed it like it was stood still. And so far no e-bike has got up that hill without me putting a serious amount of effort in. In 6th gear now, a little bit of throttle around this mud. So using the throttle rather than pedaling in a slippery situation really helps your balance. Here we go. Do you know what? I couldn't think of a better thing to be doing on a Sunday. Too hot for metal detecting. Right. Let's do a bit of slow movements. Look, here we go. Over there, look. Easy. A little bit of trials riding, yep. See, I'm doing this all on the throttle. In between these trees. Round here, good. Squirrel, look, go away, mate. Through the loose. Do you know what, I've got a bit of front wheel there. Front wheel lift, whoa! Yeah. Oh, that throttle is a godsend. That gets you out of trouble, really does. Just power through it. So initially I thought, because the throttle cuts out at 20 miles an hour, this is not going to be as good as my original Engine Pro, where the throttle takes you up to 30 miles an hour. But I think on the grand scale of things, because you've got that torque sensor rather than the cadence sensor, I think this is the better option. I really do. It's certainly a nicer riding experience, there's no doubt about that. And you can feel that it's got more torque, definitely. Especially just tweaking that throttle and just punching out of trouble. Look at that, perfect. So okay, now I'm on the Engine Pro version 1. Instantly I can see the difference with this cadence sensor, because you start pedaling and then it launches, and then you stop pedaling, then it slows down again, then you have to pedal to launch it, whereas the torque sensor's a nice smooth progression. You see, I'm pedaling at the same speed, but I'm going faster and faster and faster. So if I want to slow down, it slows down instantly, and then I pedal and it starts launching. And now you're ghost pedaling, you're just going round in a circle with no pressure on the pedals. It's more like a launch control, isn't it? Isn't it? It's a launch control. You pedal. So I can see why Engwe have brought out this Pro 2, because that torque sensor makes a world of difference. And when they said, Gary, go out there and ride it, they were 100% right. Totally different machine. So if this video's brought you any value or entertainment, why not like and subscribe, and we can test some more tech together in the future. But that's it for me, guys. Thank you very much, and bye for now.